Hey, what's up, you guys? So in today's video, this 360 virtual tours training, we're going to go over everything that's fundamentally needed just to go ahead and get you started in setting up your first virtual tour as a real estate agent. Now, I know thinking about a virtual tour, you're thinking about, is it how complicated it is? So what we did to make it a little bit more easy is we linked all the cameras that you're going to need to use as an option. Also, we're giving you some images that you're going to be able to use to really have a demonstration of how you would utilize these images. And we're giving you a complete walkthrough right now to try to make it as easy as possible and to really pull back the curtain and take away all the fears of creating a 360 virtual tour, because we know that 360 virtual tours will extremely benefit your business, but also they're not hard to shoot, and you can save thousands of dollars if you're doing, 2 to 3 to 4 or even 10, properties per year. You're going to save thousands of dollars. And so it's really easy to do. You could always, teach your assistant if you have an assistant in your business to also do this. So either way, let's jump into the video and we'll give you a walkthrough. So once you log in, the first thing that you're going to want to do is click right here, virtual tours. Okay, so once you do this, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and click on this green button right here, and you're going to want to name it. So typically this is going to be like the property. So we'll say ABC property, and this will be your personal brand or real estate office branch, either one. And a short description about, the home, some of the key features that would probably make it stand out if somebody were to see the link in the virtual tour. Outside of that, you want to make sure that you watch our training on Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel IDs and go ahead and add that here. Now, the reason why that's important is because if you're getting, let's say 200 views in 1 month or in 2 weeks on Zillow, or maybe realestate.com.au if you're in Australia, and you don't really know, you haven't got maybe those phone calls because maybe somebody else is getting them. Because a lot of times in real estate, these companies will sell off those leads if somebody wants interest in that house, and they might not necessarily call you, even if you are the listing agent, which you're probably very familiar with. But if you have a tracking code in there and they watch your 360 virtual tour, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to retarget them, which we'll show you with a simple $5 ad, ad that can basically get in front of them the next day or the same day that they're on social media, maybe on YouTube, watching a video. They can see your ad, where you might show them a picture of that property and say, hey, I know you took a look at this property. I'd love to show it to you in person. Okay, so that's very powerful, and it'll give you an opportunity that even if one of these bigger platforms wants to push off that lead to a different agent, at least you get the opportunity to sell the property first that you're, that you're listing, right? So that's a huge opportunity. So the other thing is right here, if you are using a WhatsApp, you can do the WhatsApp chat. Or you can even integrate Facebook chat. So you want to add your WhatsApp number if you want them to call you or message you through the WhatsApp Messenger. And if you want to do a Facebook, you can also do a Facebook chat. Now, here's the pros and cons. If you don't have the time to actually be messaging somebody who's live wanting information, you kind of want to have an assistant or maybe have this feature not on. Okay, so because last thing you want is somebody who's highly interested and they're not getting nobody to respond. Well, guess what? They're going to go to the next real estate agent who maybe has some time open to respond. So you kind of want to keep that in mind. Now, you might want to go back in and on Saturday and do a virtual tour open house where you are going to be able to do live chats, and also we'll show you another one, live video calls that can be done inside the virtual tour. So if somebody wants to click a live video and talk to you, they can talk to you in person. That's a really cool feature. Now, auto start is good to have. Auto audio play is good if you have an audio file, kind of keep them engaged. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give you this package of images that you can use and go ahead and upload and kind of play around and get used to this. And we're going to give you some audio files, about 5 of them, that are really good that you can actually use for your own personal virtual tours. Okay, so you'll hear that music also in this video. So what we want to do next is just give you a walkthrough on the things that you don't need to touch at the bottom. So everything here is pre-built for you, so you don't have to worry about trying to edit nothing else. So the only thing you need to do is name, author, and description, okay, which we covered, okay, and the chat and these things if you are able to, attend it. So we're going to jump into styles. Now, styles, again, if you don't have the chat, well, don't show the chat on there. Other than that, you can leave everything else as it is. Now, you will see right here live session. That means that if somebody wanted to talk to you live in video, if you have this on there, you'll be able to talk to them live in video. Now, again, you want to make sure you have the time to be able to do that, to make that happen. Because if you do have a site that's getting 50 to 100 people a day viewing this, and 10 people at one time want to talk to you, it's going to be a little tricky. So you have to think about that as well. It might be something that you only do for like a virtual open house. Okay, so we'll leave that off. Now, outside of that, everything else you can leave as is. And if you have questions about any of these features, you can just hover over them and they'll tell you what they are for. Okay, now, as you can see right here in the default markers, you can make these to be the color of your brand. So if your brand's this color or this color, you can just click on it and you'll be able to do that. So we'll just go with this blue for now, okay? And the tooltip, you can actually make a default icon. So we have tons of icons for you to choose and pick from. So if you want to make a default icon, you can also do that as well. So we'll go ahead and leave that as this for now. And let's go ahead and do this one for now, okay? And we'll do this one. So they match, okay? And so actually probably set them back. Let's do info. So info, just to make it so that they're matching and the same, okay? So let's do info. And other than that, we're going to jump up into here into content. So let's go ahead and save this. So anything, as you go, you can start saving them. Now, the background image, this is a background image of when it's loading your virtual tour. Do you want them to see like a preview of the property? So this is a very good thing to do to make sure you have. So we will upload a background in here, and you want to have it at least around 512 by 512, and the logo the same thing, so you can have your branding in the actual 360 virtual tour. Now, the nadir, if you hover over here, it's when you hide the tripod, because it's going to be 360. So if they look down, instead of seeing the tripod, they'll see your logo. Really cool thing to do. So just make sure you upload a logo, your logo for that as well. Okay. Now the desktop intro and mobile intro is pretty much the same thing. You just have a picture, the best picture that you want them to see. You can add it here. 512 by 512 will work in most cases. So you can add these pictures here so that on desktop and mobile, they'll be able to see those. Now you want to add your song. Now you can add a song or a audio file per every single session. So that's a really cool thing to have. Now there's a couple ways you can do that. You can add a song right here, audio file MP3, where it plays throughout the entire virtual tour, or every single room you can record an audio file, but not everybody might want to hear your voice, but you could record technically an audio file per room and talk about the things in the room, right? This is an amazing entry. It's got, once you walk in, you can see to the right over here, you have this, you have that. So you can give them basically a walkthrough in audio about the property, right? So you could do that. Now it's a little bit more work, but to keep this simple, you can just upload an audio file here and it will play throughout the entire virtual tour, okay? Now, this right here is a form that if you add it, what'll happen is on the top side of the virtual tour, you'll have a form button, which if they click on it, they'll be able to, enter this information. So as an example was to submit, let's just do property info, see home in person. And you can make it required. We'll do text and we'll do their first name. And here's this, and we'll do phone number, okay, cell phone, and we will add also their email, okay. So once we've done this, we're gonna go and save this, okay. Now this one right here, HFOV, is basically hovering, and we don't really need to do anything here. This is if, how do you want the property to be, seen? You can see the details here. We're going to leave it as it is. It looks perfect as it's set up pre-built. So what's the next step? So now you have all that done. Let's go ahead and jump into rooms. Okay. Now it's very important and it's easy to set up. So what you want to do is how we have our images set up. You want to have the name of the actual room that you want to title it, and also maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that when you're doing your virtual tour, it just makes it easier. So let's go ahead and do a bulk upload. You can do it individually, but you can also do a bulk upload. So we're going to click on this and do a bulk upload. Now, what you're going to see right here shows you the max 8 MB, which is more than enough in JPEG and PNG for the files that you're going to be using. And they've got to be a 360 camera panorama. They can't just be a panorama with a regular phone. How they do panorama, it has to be 360. So we will give you a list of the top 360 cameras that we've tested. There's a lot of them out there, but there's really some that are easy to use. They're in that $300 to $400 price range, but realistically, within one virtual tour that you do, it's paying for itself, because most virtual tour softwares cost $30 to $80 a month. So ours is free because you're part of Agent Force CRM. But on top of that, one property, 360 virtual tour property, can be anything from $250 to $500. So the camera itself, it pays off within one usage. So something to think about. And we'll give you a list of those below this video so that you can go ahead and pick the best cameras that we found and go ahead and go shopping for those if you're ready to buy one. So we're going to go ahead and click on here to do a bulk upload. And what we're going to do is select all these files. And we'll show you the top view when that's going to be used in a minute. But for now, we are just going to select these right here to show you how this would work, okay? Now, it'll take a few seconds. And we labeled every single one of these videos to make sure that we could actually get a good quality demonstration for you on what you'd want to do. So it just makes it very easy to do. So we labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we also labeled each room. So once this uploads in the next couple seconds, we'll give you a walkthrough on how this is set up. The main thing you want to do next is probably really look at markers. Okay, so we'll do it from here. So in the entryway, now what are markers? Markers are basically going to allow you to, this is the entryway, okay? Markers are going to allow you to zoom into the next area. So just for you to know, wherever the center is at right here, that's where this is going to go. So if you wanted this to be right about here, this is more or less where this is going to go right here. So if somebody's looking at the tour, you might want it right about here. Okay, so this is going to go right into the kitchen. And you can select any one of these, right? But we're going to go into the kitchen. Okay, so you'll see that kitchen. And you can also move it. So if that's not in the right spot, you can just do that. I think that's good. Okay, and we're just going to jump into the kitchen. Now the second marker in the kitchen is we're going to add one so that they can see the view of the living room. Okay, like a deeper view of the living room. So we're going to add that there. Okay, and this is literally how fast you can create a virtual tour as far as editing wise once everything's ready. So we'll jump into that. Now you can see the living room. So you see the view. Now next is we're going to do the stairs. So we're going to do the stairs, which would be number 4. Okay, stairway, and we're going to go ahead and jump up there to see how that looks right there. And there we go. And right here, we're going to do upstairs. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and edit this to move it. Okay, so they can go upstairs. Now, if we go upstairs, what we're going to do is we're going to see now we're up to see from the bottom to up here. So, okay, so you see that there if they're looking at it. what we want to do here is we're going to send them over to, let's go this way over here. Let's go ahead and add them into the sitting room. Okay. So next is the sitting room, which we'll have over here. We'll go to the sitting room. And that's pretty cool, right? Now we're going to jump into the sitting room, the bathroom off of the sitting room. Okay. So we'll do bathroom off the sitting room. Okay. And here we go. That's 7. Now what's next is we'll look at this. Okay. If they want to go out now, we'll put, let's go into the master. Okay, so once they click on here, it's going to take them to the master. Okay. And right here, we'll go into the master bathroom. And so this is kind of cool. So once you have everything set up as far as, labeled and the images, makes it extremely easy to accomplish this. So we finished all the markers. Now we're going to jump into the POIS, the positioning. So if we look at the entry, and we'll go through this, we won't go throughout the entire one, but we'll just kind of give you an idea. So let's just say right here, if you wanted to talk about the molding, crown molding, you could do this, you could do that. A lot of people talk about like, let's say a dining room, right? So we'll do text, so you can do all these different things, embed a link, external link. So we will do a text, okay? And we'll call this text. And what you want to do, this is going to show up inside of it. So do dining room slash office. Okay, so it could be anything, any of those, right? And what we'll want to do here is go ahead and edit it to move it. And now one thing I'll show you really quickly and look at this is you want a tooltip. And so a custom tooltip, the den office, dining room, okay? And once the actual tour starts, you'll see why I did that, because it'll pop up underneath it just when you hover over it. And let's just say you wanted to talk about the bathroom, right? And the features of the bathroom here. Let's say it's a stacked stone, iceberg, okay? Ice white, okay. Okay, we'll copy that. We'll put that into the next one. And we'll do also a tooltip. We'll move it. And we'll jump over here. Styles, we'll do custom. Okay. Now, yeah, we already have the link to the kitchen, so we won't do that. So we'll just jump over into the kitchen. Just giving, this is the last example. We'll do, for example, because you kind of get the idea, right? So we'll save this and we'll do wolf deep freezer. Okay. Let's just say you want to add wolf appliances, whatever it is, right? This might not be wolf, but it's just an example. Okay. So let's just say that this was what it was. And we're going to edit the position of it right there. And so if you want to talk about, this is an example. Let's just say quartz. Let's think of a name, Cambria, okay? Cambria quartz. We'll go ahead and copy this. Okay, so this is kind of what you do in a tour. And again, we'll do a tooltip, just you'll see the value of that in a minute. We'll move it up a little bit, so it's right there. Now we'll stop there. but you get the idea that we could do this throughout the whole house on the flooring, furniture is included, whatever the case is. So now that we have that, I just wanted one thing. Let's just jump to, let's just say living room. Okay, I'll show you another one that we have right here. So let's say that they're getting ready to go to upstairs. But what if you wanted to throw in right here let's say a form or an external URL? You could add an external URL. Now this might be in self or blank. This might be right here. This could be a link in your CRM that's one of those pre-built, to schedule a live, meeting. This could be that. So now you think about this. This is inside Zillow or realestate.com.au. This could be like basically your landing page for in your CRM that's pre-built. So you have 3 of them that pops up and gets all their information and goes right into your CRM. And this 360 virtual tour is inside of Zillow, inside of one of these major sites. So now you're not leaving it up to them as far as pushing the referral of who are you going to talk to, who are they going to call. You're giving all these opportunities for you to be that person. So we'll stop there. Let's just switch it out and do it. Edit. And let's just do this. We will delete this one. Okay. And we'll add a new one so I can show you the other one, which would be form. Okay. So let's just say form is going to be this one we did up here, and I'll show you how all these work. And text is going to be first name. It's required. You want their phone number. So if you think about this inside of Zillow, where you're able to capture all this information, that's pretty huge. A lot of times they're trying to charge you for this, right? And you put this right next to the stairs one so they can look. Okay. So what's going to be next is we're going to jump into maps. Okay. So remember, maps is going to be very important. We're going to do house top view. Okay. This is going to be called, and we're going to open this up. And this is the one we're going to give you in the little demo images. And again, you can use this because it's just an example, right? So what's really cool about this is that if you add the entryway, right? Gather entryway here. Do the kitchen now. Okay, we'll do all of them just to kind of give you an idea. And living room. Okay. And we'll do stairway. And upstairs. Sitting room. Bathroom off the sitting room. We'll put that over here. Okay, right here. So right there, so it's a little more balanced. And the master. Right, the master right about there. And then we will add master bathroom. Okay. You'll see in a minute how cool this is. Okay, so this is the edit map. Okay. Now we are going to save, and we're going to jump to virtual tours. Now, this is the really cool part. We're going to go ahead and now, if you look over here, you can go into presentations, which we'll do other videos on, landing pages. It's a whole different training, a little bit more time. We just want you to have the basics of setting up your virtual tour. We're going to go ahead and publish this. Okay. Now, what you can do is give it a user-friendly URL. So typically it'd be the property address, right? ABC property. Okay. And we're going to set a friendly URL. The cool part, see right here, now you have virtual tours, viewer, ABC property. You can share this. Pretty cool. You can also embed it. But what we want to do is actually go ahead and click on here, and we want to show you what that'll look like. So we'll do a preview. Okay. Now, this would be the loading page. If you had an image there, you'd see the property. Okay. And this is just what we set up. You see where you're at. This is the maps, right? You can see where you're at right here. You want to jump into the kitchen. Just click that. Now you're in the kitchen. Okay. Remember we talked about the Cambria quartz. So while they can't click on it, by putting the tooltip, they're going to see what it's talking about, so they don't have to click on it. So that's pretty cool. So let's just jump back into the entryway. You'll see what we did there. Same thing, dining room, office, stack stone. So pretty neat. Now they can use this to go around everywhere. They can take it out of the view, and you can also just go right here and go to different areas of the home. Okay, so that's another way. So remember, these are the actual markers, which we just clicked on to see the different area of the living room. Okay, and if they want to go upstairs, they can do that. Or if they say, "What's this one?" Right? We didn't put a tooltip. I forgot to. We should put a tooltip right here on this one. And there you go. See home in person. Okay, you can make this colors as well custom. So, but that's how easy it is to capture a lead, while this virtual tour is inside Zillow or a different major platform or on the web online. So, really cool deal. We're going to go upstairs now. So we'll just click on this to go upstairs. And you can see the walkthrough. We want to go through the sitting room. They can take a look at it, right? We'll go through the sitting room. Pretty neat. Go into the bathroom. You can take a look at the property, really cool deal. And we will show you, go into master, and we'll show you, we'll give you a link below as well for a Photoshop that you can get the one-time payment, which will help you a lot. Because let's just say these images, you're taking them yourself and there's something on the carpet right there, right here. You can Photoshop those out really quickly without having, a lot of experience. It's really easy. So it's the master. Okay, pretty cool. And we'll also show you some different tricks, how to use Photoshop in minutes. So there's the master. Okay, you want to go back downstairs, you can go there. So that's your virtual tours, how it would look. You see home in person. You can pop up right there. You can have music playing. So hopefully this was not too fast for you, but you can kind of get a general overview of how this was set up. Super easy to do. Once you have the basics, again, we're going to have a link in the bottom with the cameras that we recommend. The Photoshop package is probably going to be the easiest. Give you a demo of how to use those Photoshop tools just to make it really easy. So you don't have to be an expert in photography or 360 virtual tours to use this platform. Really, any real estate agent that has an extra 15 minutes to 30 minutes or even an hour to go to the property and shoot the videos, which is super easy with the cameras, which we'll show you, and then also just upload it as easy as we did right here. You're going to save yourself $250 to at least $500 per 360 virtual tour, and you're going to give yourself another option to lead capture, doing advertisement online. Really cool when somebody can just click on it and look at a virtual tour property through the link. It's a huge deal. So we're excited that you're part of Agent Force CRM, and we look forward to your success. And underneath this video, you're going to see all the different options for you to download the demo images, this home top view, the music, and all the other stuff that we've talked about in this video. So we look forward to your success, and we'll see you in our other training videos.